$150,000 is the amount of money that Gembot has been able to raise over the last day or so. It's absolutely crazy, and we're going to get into the details, all of the research I've done behind the scene. Where is the money going? Why are they implementing this? We have so many questions, so let's just dive into it. The first thing we need to understand is that PGV was a DeFi project that many people got into, many people made money on it. I'm not going to deny that. It was paying out 2% daily. Whether or not that was a Ponzi or partially a Ponzi is still yet to be determined. But essentially what ended up happening to PGV is that they had 4 contracts. Now the USDT, the Polygon, and the Tron contracts have all stopped. The only one that was left was USDC, and now I believe this is essentially done, and they are essentially refunding people their money. Now, a lot of people are actually still waiting on their refunds, and I know a lot of people that did also get their refunds. So some people got refunds, and some people are still waiting on refunds. Now, this got me thinking, why in the world would they be starting a new project or starting something new before refunding everybody who participated in their initial project? Do they need to raise more capital in order to get those refunds out? That's kind of what I'm thinking. But again, I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt here. And let's take a look at exactly where this money is. So if we take a look at PGV's contract address, as you guys know, we just looked at the USDC contract, and this is the actual contract on the blockchain. So if you go to contract, you can see this is PGV, the USDC side of things. And right now there is about $900,000 on there, which I assume they're still going to use to give refunds out to people. So there's about $900,000 left to give out refunds. I'm not too sure what the balance is of these refunds that's left to be distributed, but they still have some decent amount of money in this one contract. Now, if we take a look at the USDT contract, and again, if we go on to the contract tab, this is PGV, and this is the USDT side of things, the one they stopped, and that some people are still waiting on their money and their refund from this contract. But as we can see, there's about $1,000 left in this one. Now, if we go on to Polygon, again, you can see it's PGV, and there's about $3 left in this one. So all that to say, and it makes sense as well, because they've discontinued all these other contracts, and the only one that's left running is the USDC one, which makes sense that it's the only one that has money. Now, as I said though, some people on USDT or on Polygon or on Tron are still waiting for their refunds, and I assume that they're going to be taking the money in the USDC contract because, again, that's the only contract that has any type of money in it. They're going to use a portion of those funds to refund the people who are still waiting. So that's kind of my assumption there. Now, I'm not too sure if this $900,000 is going to be sufficient to refund everybody who's still waiting on a refund. Now, if we talk about Gembot and exactly what this is, it was clearly noted in the PGV Discord that this has nothing to do with PGV. So it's not the same thing that PGV was doing over the last 6 months. It's completely new, and it's a brand new strategy, and they're basically doing trading bots as a service now for $100 per month or $200 per month if you don't get into the pre-sale. Now, if you're wondering how much money have they been able to raise, as I've said, they've been able to raise over $150,000 in the last day or so, which is absolutely crazy. So many subscriptions are coming in. And if we take a look at the contract address of this Gembot, we can see right now there's $33,000 in this contract. But don't worry, because there was a lot more this morning when I was looking at it. And if we go into the transactions, we can see that some hefty withdrawals have taken place over the last few hours. So as you can see here, 4 hours ago, there was about 52,000 Binance pegged USDC that was literally just taken out of this wallet. There's another 37,000 here as well. And if we go on to the other page, I think there's another $25,000 as well somewhere. Let me just see if I can find it real quick. But I was going through all of these pages and seeing if I could find these big chunks of transactions that are essentially just leaving this wallet. And we can see that this was $25,000 on BUSD. So this essentially means that all of this money, and again, this is withdrawn money, and there's still $33,000 of money in this contract. So I just made some quick calculation, and it's about $150,000 that they've raised over the last day or so. Now, if you're curious like I am, and you're wondering where are these withdrawals going, what is exactly happening? Well, we can go on to our BitQuery tool and we can follow the money and exactly understand where this money is going. And I guess we don't really know why it's going there, but we can definitely understand where it's going. So in the middle, as usual, this is the contract address, the Gembot contract address, which finishes in 5573. And if you go ahead and you don't believe me, let's go back to the blockchain. 5573 is that Gembot address. So now the majority of this money, which is about $101,000, is leaving this wallet and it's going into this random wallet here, which finishes in AFB. Now again, the majority of the funds here are leaving this wallet and are going into this wallet here, which finishes in 7898F. Now, a portion of that money is going into another wallet, which finishes in 3FE. And then there's kind of a roller coaster situation between these wallets. But nonetheless, you can see that the majority of the money is again transferred to another wallet. And then we have about $58,000 that's transferred over to Venus. And if you're unfamiliar with Venus, well, this is a DEX on the Binance Smart Chain. And going on to its wallet address, well, of course, it's a DEX. It's going to have a bunch of money. And it has about $18 or $17 million in treasury. So this is essentially where about $58,000 or $60,000 of that pre-sale money has been sent over to Venus, and the rest is in this loop here, and it's probably just being sent to many different other wallets. As you can see here, there's a bunch of money going everywhere, but the majority is being sent to Venus, and then who knows what happens with it, because it's a DEX. You can transfer tokens, you can send it to anywhere else, any other wallet, and there's no way to actually track that because the chain or the transaction history stops there. Now, I am just curious to know what you guys think and whether or not you're still waiting on your PGV refund, whether or not you believe that some of this money that they're collecting from Gembot, if it's going towards refunding the people that are still waiting for their refunds. So let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below. But now if we get into Gembot itself, I mean, I have so many questions and it doesn't seem like we have much information. And it also seems like they're trying to get everybody to get in on the presale before the presale ends to save money. But it seems very rushed in my opinion. So if we go on to the homepage, well, it says, of course, you have to get your subscription before March 7th because you're going to get 50% off your monthly fee. And $200 per month is a lot of money for a bot fee. And of course, $100 is still pretty substantive in terms of monthly fees. So that's obviously one of the reasons people are just jumping into this, because they don't necessarily want to pay $200 down the road. So that's kind of your urgency to get in. Again, who knows if it's really going to work out, and who knows if this money is just going to pay out future refunds. So that's your homepage. Then if we go to About, this literally says Gembot AI is a one-of-a-kind trading bot software with 8 months of back testing and over 7,800 trades completed. That's all we have. Like, I don't know about you guys, but this does not inspire trust by any means. And as they said, they literally said that this does not have anything to do with PGV, because as we know, PGV has been somewhat successful over the last 6 months. So if it has nothing to do with PGV, and this is completely new, they are basically just saying, don't worry guys, we have 8 months of backtested data, and it's basically made 7,800 trades that were completed, so we're all good. We can make this happen. Now, just to let you guys know how easy it would be for them to show us some of these trades and some of this backtested data. If you go onto TradingView and you have an account, I have a premium account, I don't have the Pro Plus Plus or whatever it is, but you can just put on any strategy on your TradingView and essentially see what the backtested data is. So in this case, I'm just playing around with a random strategy of mine, and we can see the overview. So over the last 2 months, if I go to the properties here, from January 1st to basically today, which is essentially 2 months worth of data, we can see that this strategy has made about 37%. Its win rate is about 74%, and we can see the max drawdown and all of that. So then we can also go on to the list of trades. Now, these are not trades that are actually taking place, but it is the back-tested data of those trades if I would have taken these trades in the live market. So these are none of the trades I actually took, but these are all the back-tested data sets from this strategy. So it takes your strategy and it goes back in time. In my case, for 2 months, it applies the strategy and it shows you what would have happened based on what happened in the market history. So that's very easy to produce, and I'm not too sure why they're not giving us any of that information. Again, maybe it's going to come, I'm not too sure. So you're essentially having to buy this pre-sale with very little information. And if we go on to the facts, we are again lacking so much information on this. It essentially says that they've been able to produce an average of over 2% per trade for the last 8 months. Then it says, yeah, it's going to be $100 per month if you get in on pre-sale. Blah, blah, blah. And then it says, do you offer refunds? They basically say no. And there's an affiliate program if you want to shill your code to other people. Now, they do also have a disclaimer here, which of course they are going to have, because they say that they are not responsible for anything. Whatever happens, happens. And you agree that Gembot is not responsible for your funds and for whatever may happen to your money. Now, this brings me to the next question, which whether or not Gembot is an actual business, because now they are taking payment from customers for them providing a service to us, and whether or not this is a legal entity or a legal registered business, I am not sure. And this also goes on to the security aspect of this, because how you're going to be able to connect your bot is actually via an API. And I find this quite funny here, how they show a total of 6 trades that are above 2%. I mean, that's pretty good. I think anybody can do that. But again, that's just what they're showing on their website. And that's essentially them showing that they have over 7,000 trades of over 2% per trade. But again, I'm losing track here, but if we just go back to the API issues, it says that you're going to be able to run your bots on top of any crypto exchange, any centralized exchange that offers API keys. So you're going to be able to connect on Binance, on Binance US, on HitBTC, on OK Exchange, on Bybit, on any centralized exchange that essentially offers APIs. Now, what an API does is it allows the person who has access to it to connect to your funds and be able to trade your funds. So if Gembot isn't an actual registered business, are you confident or are you comfortable letting some people have access to your funds and trade for you, and there's no legal entity or there's no security behind it? That's kind of where I come into the decision making of whether or not I even want to run one of these. Because again, you're giving funds to people that you don't even know if they are a legit business. So just to give you kind of an example, because I am running bots on Astrobit, Astrobit is an actual legal business. Not trying to shill Astrobit by any means, but I just want to compare the legality as well as the security differences between a legit company and something that we're not too sure. So as we can see, I am running these APIs through Bybit. And we can also see if I go to Astrobit, they say that Astrobit cannot withdraw your funds from your wallet, nor will you ever store funds within Astrobit. Of course, it's in your centralized exchange. They do have 2FA, they have machine learning intrusion detection system, and they also have an anti-ransomware software where you can literally just understand that they're doing everything in their power to make sure that your API and the connection to your API is secured. Now, I haven't seen anything like that about Gembot. Again, it could be happening. It could not be happening. This is just something I am looking at. Now again, Astrobit is an actual legal business. They have an address, they have a phone number, and you can search them up and find where they are located and if they actually exist. So again, I am not too sure if there's anything like that for Gembot. Of course, they have a Discord. If you go to support, you can send them an email, but there's no legal address. There's nothing of that sort. And again, who really knows what's happening for the legality of this business and the security of your API, connecting your API and giving them permission to trade your funds? That's just something we're going to have to wait and see. So with all of that being said, there's so many different questions I have. As we saw, there's money moving out of this account. There's money moving into different dexes. Then there is the question of why aren't they showing previous trades? If they literally say that they have over 7,000 trades, why aren't they showing that? They say they might show it in the future. We're just going to have to wait and see. But then there also is the urgency to get in on the pre-sale to have a lower amount of money or a lower fee per month. And then there's also all the people who are still waiting on their refunds for PGV. So that's essentially what's happening with Gembot.ai. And if you're wondering whether or not I purchased one, I purchased one. I am not too sure if I'm even going to allocate funds to this yet. I just purchased it in order to literally understand what's happening with this bot. And who knows if it's even going to last? Who knows if it's even going to launch? And who knows just how well it's going to do? So that's what I'm going to leave you guys on. Let me know your thoughts on this in the comment section below. Again, there's just so many questions, so little answers. Maybe we'll find out more in the next few days. But with all of that being said, if you guys enjoyed the video, smash the like button, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and I'll catch you guys in my next video. Peace.